Hello folks, let's discuss some downsides of Selenium WebDriver. Yes, I know what you're thinking, but unfortunately, just like everything else in life, nothing is perfect. And this is just one of those other cases. All right, so let's talk about some downsides of Selenium. First of all, there is a steep learning curve, okay? Selenium WebDriver requires programming skills and a good understanding of web technologies. It might have a steep learning curve for beginners who are not familiar with programming languages or web development concepts. For example, this course, one of the prerequisites was to have a basic understanding on Java basics so that learning Selenium would be easier for you. Okay, lack of built-in reporting. So Selenium WebDriver does not provide built-in reporting capabilities. Test reporting and result analysis need to be implemented separately using an external library or framework, and we're going to do that later on in this course when we develop a framework and so on. But it's good to know, right? And it's important to know that as of right now, there really is no built-in reporting mechanisms at all. Synchronization issues. This is one of the biggest ones, okay? So we haven't talked about synchronization with Selenium yet. Don't worry about that yet. We'll talk about this later in the later videos. But basically, web applications often have dynamic elements that load asynchronously or require additional time to appear or update. Okay, so basically, to make this very simple, when our tests execute, sometimes our tests go too fast, and then our tests start to fail because the execution went too fast, and we'll start to get some exceptions that are not really true because of time, right? And even though Selenium has some built-in mechanisms to handle those issues, they're not really so reliable at times. Later on in this course, we'll talk about what you can do to overcome those challenges. Okay, execution speed, once again, Selenium WebDriver automates real browsers, okay, which can impact the execution speed compared to headless or simulated browser approaches. The time taken to launch and interact with browsers can slow down test execution, particularly when dealing with a large number of test cases. So again, you're in situations where either your tests can go too fast or they can go too slow depending on what you're executing. But again, we're going to encounter these issues later on in this course. Complex setup and environment configuration. So basically, to start scripting Selenium is actually pretty easy, right? But when you want to use it with a team, when you want to organize your test cases, when you want to develop a framework, that setup can be complex and can be time consuming. You really have to develop a framework so that you can organize your code, your test cases, implement different design patterns like the famous page object model design pattern that we will talk about later in this course as well. Okay, and then there are other limitations as well. For example, as of right now, Selenium WebDriver does not provide any mechanisms to automate CAPTCHA, okay, and pop-ups. Okay, Selenium WebDriver has limited capabilities when dealing with CAPTCHA challenges or handling certain type of pop-ups or model dialogues. Now, we can use Selenium to interact with some pop-ups, but again, later in this course, you'll see what we are talking about. Cannot automate MFA scenarios. Now, MFA means multi-factor authentication. You may be familiar with this. For example, when you're logging into one of your websites, sometimes a text or a code gets sent to your phone and you have to enter that code into the browser, right? There's no way for Selenium to use your phone and read your text messages and get the text or code from the phone. Now, there are different ways that some folks have worked around this, but they're very inconvenient and it's not recommended so far. Actually, a lot of automation tools cannot automate MFA scenarios, and as of today, this is a very popular challenge. Okay, I'm sure that with time, test automation tools will be developed to overcome these challenges. Also, Selenium WebDriver cannot verify contents of images and videos. So Selenium WebDriver can actually verify if an image is displayed or if a video is displayed. There's a way to do that, but there's no way right now to use Selenium to verify contents of an image or video. For example, if there's a picture of you on the website, there's no way to verify that it is you. Okay, now despite these downsides, Selenium WebDriver remains a popular choice for test automation due to its flexibility, community support, cross-browser compatibility, and extensive feature set. Many of these limitations can be mitigated by adopting best practices, using appropriate design patterns, and leveraging additional tools and frameworks alongside Selenium WebDriver.